Just ahead on CTV News.
Prince George's County leaders say the county is back on solid financial ground. Hear what's next under County Executive Aisha Braveboy's new economic vision, coming up.
And
the state's flagship university lays off dozens of jobs. I'm Katara Jones. I'll tell you exactly how many people will no longer have jobs coming up on CTV News.
Plus, a drought watch is in effect for millions across the DMV. These stories and more on CTV News, starting now.
Switchers lost.
Good evening. This is CTV News for June 4th. I'm Brandon Williams.
And I'm Alexis Davila. Thank you for joining us.
Topping our news tonight, County Executive Aisha Braveboy delivered her first State of the Economy address this morning.
And our Michaela Newton now joins us live in the studio. Michaela, what can you tell us?
That's right. Well, Prince George's County Executive Aisha Braveboy says the county is on stronger financial footing than it has been in years this morning during her first State of the Economy address. Speaking at the 2026 State of the Economy address at MGM National Harbor, Braveboy announced the county has eliminated a $170 million budget deficit without major service cuts or tax increases. She says the newly approved $6 billion fiscal year 2027 budget reflects aggressive fiscal discipline and strategic investments. Braveboy also unveiled her Elevate Prince George's vision, focused on growing the commercial tax base, creating jobs, supporting small businesses, and expanding opportunities in technology, sports, entertainment, and hospitality. But here's some of what the county executive had to say.
Over the past year, we have stayed focused, we have stayed committed, and we've stayed the course. And now, we are beginning to see the fruits of that work. We are seeing new investments, we are seeing new opportunities, and we're seeing renewed confidence in Prince George's County. Not because the challenges disappeared, but because we refuse to give up. Today, I am proud to say that the state of Prince George's County's economy is strong and getting stronger.
The county also recently retained its AAA bonding rating and recorded its highest employment growth in nearly 2 decades.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that report. We appreciate it.
Well done.
Now, the University of Maryland, the state's flagship institution, terminates the employment of more than 80 workers.
And CTV's Katara Jones is standing by in College Park and dives deeper into how the university got to this point.
That's right. The University of Maryland has made the decision to lay off 84 employees. Now, this announcement came in a letter to university staff on Wednesday and put the blame on rising energy costs and a projected reduction of $15 million in federal funding in fiscal year 2027. This decision comes less than 2 months after the university announced a hiring freeze and a potential elimination of about 150 jobs. Reports show that staff members that were let go will be able to remain in their role for the next 90 days. They will also be compensated for any unused sick and vacation leave. Now, Ask Me, the union representing university employees, criticized this decision, calling it, quote, simply unacceptable. UMD is not the only university in Prince George's County that has dealt with financial issues. Bowie State University, which is part of the university system, recently faced a more than $13 million budget deficit and was able to address this budget shortfall through hiring delays and elimination of vacant positions. Katara Jones, CTV News.
Now, in a letter to staff members, UMD leaders, including President Daryl Pine, says, quote, every effort was made to balance financial necessity with our responsibility to maintain the academic, research, service, and administrative functions that are essential to our mission.
Meantime, for a long time, Maryland's biggest economic boom of nearly $150 million came from employment in the U.S. government. However, since President Trump came back in office, Maryland has lost 31,000 federal jobs. In a layoffs report from the University of Maryland School of Business, nearly 23,000 Marylanders are employed by the federal government, and those jobs account for more than $29 billion in wages. Because of the cuts, residents will see and feel the domino effect it will have on the local government and private businesses.
And now we have some unfortunate news to share with you right now. The Upper Marlboro woman who was shot several times in a driveway died this morning from her injuries. She was 29-year-old Kayla Richardson. Police believe her ex, 30-year-old Dante Morris, shot her multiple times, including in the head, right outside on a driveway Tuesday morning. Police were searching for Morris, but he was found dead Tuesday night in South Carolina.
Despite the 10 straight days of rainfall last month, a drought watch is now in effect for millions across the DMV. This year, weather watchers tracked record-breaking high temperatures between March and April. During that time, the Potomac River reached a historic low based on 130 years of data. As dry conditions and low stream flow persist, officials urge voluntary conservation, such as reducing showers to less than 5 minutes, only wash full loads of dishes and clothes, fix any plumbing leaks, especially toilets and faucets, avoid hand washing vehicles, and instead go to a commercial car wash that recycles water.
Today, Senator Chris Van Hollen calls out outside spending groups for supporting Delegate Adrian Boafo for the 5th congressional seat. Boafo is Congressman Steny Hoyer's pick, but Van Hollen is warning voters to question candidates who do not reject outside funding. AIPAC and the crypto industry have spent more than $4.5 million in the race supporting Boafo. Van Hollen worries what commitments the candidate is making to the funding groups rather than the constituents.
And voters need to understand that these groups are not investing in this race out of charity. They're spending because they believe the beneficiary of their spending, in this case, one candidate, Adrian Boafo, will be a dependable vote.
Van Hollen is calling on Boafo to disavow from these groups and release any communications with them.
And ahead of the November midterm elections, President Trump is demanding Congress to pass sweeping voting restrictions, all in the name of election security, which normally falls under the jurisdiction of the U.S. Election Assistance Commission. It provides grants for election security, but in the last few years, funding for the grants has been on a downward trend. Trump is pushing for a passage of the Save America Act, aimed to impose new restrictions on voting, such as requiring voters to show a photo ID and other forms of identification like a passport or birth certificate. You're watching CTV News. I'm Brandon Williams.
And I'm Alexa Davila. Still to come. Did you know that having a pet can boost both your mental and physical health?
I did not know that. So after the break, find out which furry friend is looking for a home during our Pet of the Week. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Leland Melvin, and I travel to space twice as a NASA astronaut. Space technologies help protect our precious Earth. Space helps us monitor changes in carbon emissions, track the pace of climate change. It even helps us fight natural disasters. Make sure that you get out to your local science museum or go to spaceforall.us to explore and learn about space and science. Space is for all.
If alcohol builds a wall around you that doesn't let you see where you're going, that keeps you feeling isolated and alone, that makes you feel hopeless, know this: we're here to help if you want us to. It's never too early or too late to ask for help with a drinking problem. Alcoholics Anonymous, there is a way out. For more information, visit aa.org and download the Meeting Guide app.
Welcome back. Thousands of kids in the county public school system get free meals every day while school is in session. But what about when they're on summer break? Well, PGCPS is helping to meet that need with its summer meals program that ensures children get regular healthy meals. Yesterday, the program kicked off with kids at Bladensburg Elementary School during lunchtime. The school system partnered with the Washington Mystics and the American Dairy Association to make sure kids across the county are well fed.
When students come in, they get breakfast, they're more likely to, be more alert in class, be more pay attention, as well as just be able to retain the information because they have a full belly, so they're not thinking about, oh, am I hungry? So the same thing for breakfast and for lunch, it's the same thing, but also over the summer, if they're fueled, they can go outside, they can ride their bikes, they can go swimming, they can run down the street, do all the things. So it just really fuels them to make sure that they have what they need to go about their day in such a way that they can be successful.
Do not miss out on this very great initiative, because it will ensure that your children are well fueled for the summer and they're able to return and thrive in the fall.
And every child 18 and under who lives in Prince George's County is eligible for the free meals. No income or registration is necessary. We will let you know the date the program starts once that information becomes available. And not only is June the start of hurricane season, but it is also Flood Awareness Month here in Prince George's. During this time, the county sees an increase of severe storms, flash flooding, and property damage. The Department of the Environment is urging residents to be flood smart and prepare before the weather strikes. Some flood safety tips include never walk or drive in floodwaters, move to high ground immediately, and review your flood insurance before severe weather hits.
As the USDA pushes the closure of the Beltsville Agriculture Research Center, state officials worry about the threat this poses to the county. The department plans to vacate BARC over the next few years. They say the 116-year-old facility is too old and pricey to maintain, and they are eliminating some of the workers. The Maryland Attorney General says the state could lose more than 1,000 jobs from this closure. The Rural Maryland Council worries that the shutdown will disrupt the state's largest commercial industry. And Maryland State Police are now celebrating a major milestone. State leaders honored Trooper 2 at Joint Base Andrews for 55 years of life-saving service. The aviation unit provides medevac, search and rescue, law enforcement, and disaster response missions across the state. Since the Aviation Command's creation, crews have moved more than 165,000 patients and saved thousands of lives.
Sometimes the worst days still come. And when it does, it's Trooper 2 that is already in the air. The men and women of Trooper 2 stand ready 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And the calls come, roughly 400 medevac missions every year, another 100 in law enforcement, search and rescue, homeland security, and disaster response.
Trooper 2 remains one of the busiest aviation units in Maryland, responding to emergencies from Prince George's County to the Chesapeake Bay.
This week's Pet of the Week is ready to make a big splash, or should we say a big burst of joy. Meet Bert, a 3-month-old black American rabbit who's hoping to find his forever home.
Bert has been at the shelter since May 27th, and he's still waiting for someone to hop into his life.
Animal Services say Bert is a sweet young rabbit who's curious about the world around him, whether he's exploring his space, enjoying some playtime, or just relaxing after a day of hopping around.
He's very friendly, seems to have been handled very well. Overall, he's just a sweet boy looking for a new home. So right now he's under 6 months old, so he's eating a lot of alfalfa hay. He also gets a handful of pellets throughout the day, as well as some leafy greens as well. I would recommend an environment with older children, just because rabbits can be very fragile. They're also prey animals, so they get they do get nervous when you pick them up because they think they're getting ready to get snatched out of the sky. But overall, just a calm environment for the most part they'll thrive in.
Well, if you're looking for a pet who can add some bundle of joy to your home, Bert and all of his furry friends are ready to meet you.
And you can call Animal Services at 301-780-7200. And remember, don't let Bert hop away. He may just be the friend that you and me have been looking for.
I don't mind a bunny.
I don't. My dad had one when he was younger.
Oh, okay. I'll just bring the carrots. Okay.
Yeah. Still to come on CTV News, we continue our exclusive interviews covering the County Council at-large race.
After the break, we sit down with candidate Laura Gilchrist. You don't want to miss it.
In this place, strength means something different. It means us all being together and doing our thing.
Let's move together.
You can look all you want, but there's still no place like this place.
There's nearly 678,290,000 kids under 5 around the world. But what's so important about being 5? Well, children who live to age 5 are twice as likely to reach adulthood. That's why vaccines matter so much. For 40 years, Rotary and partners have delivered vaccines globally. Like here and even here, in your neighborhood and around the world, Rotary is ensuring children grow up safe from preventable diseases.
Are you looking for more in this world? Then we are looking for you. The big-hearted, the bold, those driven by purpose. We are the Peace Corps, volunteers, partners, communities in more than 60 countries, bringing our experience, joy, and passion to building a better world together. Are you ready to serve boldly, to go the distance to make a difference? Then we have a place where you belong. Join us.
We are now 19 days away from the 2026 primary elections, and in the next coming weeks, CTV News will continue to bring you exclusive interviews with the candidates.
And today we welcome a candidate running for the at-large county council seat, Miss Laura Gilchrist. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're running for the at-large seat.
I am a mom, I'm a scholar, so I have a PhD in anthropology and I teach human rights and ethics at George Washington University. Previously I taught at University of Maryland in anthropology and various topics. And I'm running publicly financed because I firmly believe that people, not money, should have the priority in our policies and our politics. And I'm also running because I think that I have over the years in teaching policy and evaluating politics and working in governance in Latin America and here in the United States, I have the skill set to bring that to our governance and bring transparency and accountability, as well as evidence-backed, community-driven policy. So that is my big motivation.
And with this at-large seat, what would you do to reassure that all neighborhoods are being treated equally, getting that fair attention, rather than having one neighborhood have more or less resources than the next?
Absolutely. I mean, I see the county council at-large seats as supplement to our district seats, certainly, and making sure that where the district representatives don't necessarily have the opportunity to get out into the community all over the county, that I can, as a county council person at large, along with the second person who's a county council person at large, work with our civic associations, work with our community groups, work with our PTAs, work with our school organizers, work with just individuals throughout the county to make sure that we are balancing what's good for District 1 is also good for District 9, what's good for District 4 is also good for District 2, and the whole district, or the whole county rather, is considered in all of our policies as a forward-looking, comprehensive idea.
Earlier, we reported County Executive Aisha Braveboy delivered her address at the State of the Economy. Do you believe that Prince George's County is heading in the right direction economically right now?
I think it is certainly a positive thing that we were able to pass a balanced budget. How we got there is, I think, a little more nuanced and tricky than perhaps the State of the Economy allowed for, which I don't think is uncommon. You know, we want to highlight the positives. But within that budget, we're not seeing property tax raises, but we are seeing a utility tax raise on all residents, and that was sort of snuck in there under the wire. And so how we are balancing that budget is really crucial. But we also mentioned, or rather y'all also mentioned that the considerable layoffs that have happened that are going to affect our bottom line in terms of people's income taxes and the amount of revenue that that represents. We really we have to not be short-term thinking in this. We have to be long-term thinking in this. And I have a comprehensive tax plan to help us shore up both what we may be coming into in the next year or so with the reverberations of, you know, current large-scale politics and its consequences, but also that will help set us up for the long term, for the future that we're trying to do, for the infrastructure that we need to build to bring the businesses that we want to have here, or at least to get the people to the businesses that we want to have here without having to hit the potholes on the road or like go through all sorts of circumnavigation rather than having some clear public transportation that gets us from North County to South County or East County to West County.
Gotcha. When it comes to accountability, I know you're very adamant about that. What would you be doing differently to address transparency and try to regain trust with the community?
Absolutely. I mean, I think the very first step is to have conversations with the community. Over my campaign, I have been delighted to talk to folks. I'm like, please email me. People email me and I respond to their emails. People call me and I respond to their calls. I have several that I've gotten today that I'm like, I have to get back to these. But basically an open door policy where it's not like, oh, what are you doing for me politically? It's like, my job is to serve you and is to listen to you. And so that is going to be, you know, a cornerstone, but rebuilding that trust also means that we have to have open, transparent processes on the county council in terms of how we are making people aware of when we have budget hearings or making people aware of when we have hearings about data centers, for example, and not making it a last minute thing or, you know, assuming that what's on the county website is sufficient. Our county website is horribly inaccessible, honestly. So it's one of the things that I would work very hard to make sure that our technology is updated, but also that we're doing the outreach that we need by communicating through the schools, communicating through our public libraries, communicating to our residents directly when we're having events, when we're having hearings, and what the process is clearly for them to get involved and be involved. And if they can't be involved, what the alternatives are and how we can reach out back to them and make sure that their voices are actually included and we're actually representing their interests.
Affordability in terms of housing and groceries has been a concern among county residents. If elected, how would you go about addressing that?
Absolutely. Affordability is affecting us all. I live in Adelphi and have definitely, it's unincorporated, so we don't get all of like the public service as quickly as some other places, but our groceries are super expensive. Our gas is super expensive. And so addressing affordability comes with both being fiscally responsible, making sure that our budget not only is balanced, but that we're not sneaking in utility hikes or utility tax hikes on our residents and putting the burden on them, making sure that we have a solid commercial tax base. So that tax plan that I spoke about earlier would include fair corporate taxes, basically, on our large corporations and large corporate developers, making sure that we are employing really innovative and simple things like land value taxes so that we're getting property value revenue on things like open parking lots or things like undeveloped territory and property that has been idle for years, like the Landover Mall site, but not inundated with things that people in those communities absolutely do not want.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us today. Best of luck to you in the race.
Thank you so much.
And make sure to tune in tomorrow as we interview another candidate, Gina Jacobs. Early voting begins next Thursday, June 11th, and closes on June 18th.
Primary election day will be held on Tuesday, June 23rd. To look back on some of our other exclusive candidate interviews, you can watch them on our YouTube page at PGCTV online.
Stay right there for your Thursday sports page, guys, because I have some news from the hardwood, the soccer field, and the gridiron all coming your way when we come back.
CTV News, your election headquarters for the races that matter most. Tune into CTV News, the only station bringing you exclusive one-on-one interviews with the candidates seeking your vote. From county executive to state's attorney to key county council seats. Hear their plans, priorities, and promises. Get informed, vote informed. Prince George's County election coverage only on CTV News.
What's going on, sports fans? Let's get into your Thursday sports page. Now, first up, if you've been tuning into CTV Sports, then y'all know how much I love to cover high school Summer League basketball, specifically the Capital Hoops Summer League that takes place over at DeMatha High School. Capital Hoops has been around for over a decade and has been a great way for hoopers to fine-tune their basketball skills during the summer months. I caught up with one head coach recently whose team is competing in the Capital Hoops Summer League, and he loves the amount of competition this league has.
Capital Hoops is some of the best bump in our area during the summertime. We have a super young team with a lot of guys. We had a good veteran group last year that left. So it's a lot of opportunities for our young guys to kind of get this bump and get ready for our regular season. I think this is a great opportunity for them to do so. Playing against some very talented teams. So I love our guys getting this bump in Capital Hoops.
The Raiders will take the court next against the Patriots of Thomas Wooten High School tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Meantime, Terp soccer fans, listen up because the team's schedule for the 2026 season has finally been released. This year's schedule features non-conference matchups against Pittsburgh, New Haven, High Point, Delaware, and Georgetown. And in conference play, head coach Sasso Sorovsky and company will host Wisconsin, UCLA, Michigan State, Ohio State, and Penn State. Maryland's coming off a season where they finished 13-2-4 and made it to the Elite Eight round of the NCAA tournament before losing to Washington. For more information on the Terp schedule, you can visit the website right there on your screen. And switching gears to the gridiron, the Washington Commanders wide receiver room has been a topic of discussion during this offseason, as outside of Terry McLaurin, who is going to be the team's next go-to playmaker. And head coach Dan Quinn touched on the team's receiving core and what he's like from them so far as they go through OTAs.
Well, the first things I see is like just a really competitive group. You see it. I think Lane is taking that step that you'd hope to see a player take from year one to year two of what it can be, like the addition of Jefferson, of the things that he's bringing. And then Diami coming back here, there's maybe a quicker connection that takes place with somebody that you had familiarity with. I probably saw that maybe faster than I even expected in some of the spaces. So a lot to be worked out into the room, certainly Antonio being a part of it.
The Commanders wrapped up the second portion of OTAs today. The last stretch of these workouts will begin on June 9th. And wrapping up sports, the Washington Nationals wrapped up their series against the Miami Marlins with a 4-1 loss last night. The Nationals swept in their 3 games with Miami. Washington will now take their show on the road for their series against the Arizona Diamondbacks next, which begins tomorrow at 9:40. And that is your Thursday sports page. Simon Bugs, CTV Sports.
Thank you, Simon. We're going to take you to our community calendar now. Alexis, I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man! Tomorrow night, Second Star Productions presents Shrek the Musical at the Bowie Playhouse. The Tony Award-winning Adventures features new songs and brings all the beloved characters you know from the film to life on stage. Showtime is at 7:30. For tickets and more information, visit secondstarproductions.org. In the morning, I'm making waffles.
At this point, they should do another Shrek film just for you.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, that's a wrap for CTV News. Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Have a great day.